All praises to the mighty Most High. Welcome, family. I just want to make a video to say thank you, number one. Also, for those who want to turn, they can go off. Not trying to offend anyone, but this is to say some things to those who have helped me, those who I care about, those who I feel that I owe an explanation to. Although I know they don't need one or want one. They're good people. All of you are good people. But there are some who are very rude, very mean. And for those, I just say, God bless you. And I really hope that you get it, that these are the last days. And I really hope that you get it, that it's time to get yourself together, your life together. It's not about the arguments, the fights, the disagreements. I see people banding together all over the world. And I'm talking about our people. Something that we had a hard time doing and sometimes still do. But I'm so grateful because I see the Most High moving. What I wanted to say was thank you to all those who helped me and my family. Right now, we're in a situation where it's just me and my daughters. And I didn't even know that my daughters made a video. I was so sick. And I wasn't aware. I have been sick, and off and on I'm still going through, like we all are. We all are. And as well, please pray for my son, Israel Restored. He's sick. Pray for his wife. She's sick. Pray for the whole family, my grandchildren. They live far from us now. But we're all, trying to make it. And we had to move from where we were because of we're trying to stay there. We're trying to get things, like fixed up and stuff. Because, as I told people before, I did a down payment. So, of course, when you do a large down payment, and it was most of what I got from when we moved and decided to sell the house. So, most of what I got went into this house. It was a bad decision. I put it on myself. It was a bad decision. But it was also through deception. And so I'm not trying to go into big details because even right now, there's still, a case about it. But I do want to just say that things were not what they seemed. They were not what they were said to be. I'm going to be just say one thing or a couple of things. Nothing was hooked up. We thought it was. But when you flush the toilet, nothing was hooked up. Everything was going underneath the house. Put it, to try to just put it lightly. You get what I'm saying. And amongst other things, the floors are bubbling up very weak, and it's probably due to the fact that the water was going through the house. There was no pipes and everything is going under the house. So we were literally getting sick there. And I think this is still part of the sickness that I'm going through. I mean, if anybody knows, okay, that's waste. Waste can cause a lot of things. I mean, that's why you get rid of it. And on top of that, it's just a number of things, that were wrong. I asked about these things, just to let everyone know. I asked about these things. I asked about the septic and different things, water running, different things. But, of course, I was lied to. And we were trying to just get moved because we as you guys know, we're staying in different places, Airbnbs, hotels, whatever. And, you know, you run out of money doing that kind of stuff. You're kind of living out of these places that are very expensive. And then you have to keep buying like food and different things that you know, because you can't store a lot. So anyway, just to get to the point, we had to move from there, just for now, you know. And like I said, again, there is a case on it, but we were getting too sick. And then even here, I've still been going through sickness, you know, probably due to that. That's just like bad for your system, and a number of things that were happening that they just were not being fixed, you know, because even though we were being charged like monthly rent, it was agreement, something like a rent to own, but it's not exactly that. The large payment that was put down, I found out that wasn't even supposed to be charged. But anyway, like I said, I'm not going to get into a big old thing about it, but I want to give people an explanation. So my son is restored, and his wife and my grandchildren left the house when at this point we didn't even know that was going on, but we do know that a lot of us are getting sick and, you know, going through different things. And he wanted to move away anyway. And me, I didn't want to go, you know, that far away or really move from where I was at the point, because I felt like I already made a mistake in moving to where, you know, we were, and bad choice about the place, you know. So I wanted to be sure that the Most High wanted me to move. I wasn't going to budge until the Most High wanted me to move, to budge. And I'm still like that. I don't want to do anything anymore, you know, that I'm not making sure that this is what the Most High wants. I mean, people can want it, my children can want it, everybody can want it, but for me right now, you know, I haven't made a mind. If I'm not feeling it like the Most High wants me to do this, if not coming to me, then I'm not doing it. And that's not to say that if it's coming to everyone else and it's like, you know, seem like something solid, that I'm not going to listen, or I'm not going to say, oh, okay. But I have to know too, because usually, you know, it comes to you all at once, and you know. So anyway, and my reasoning is because I talked to this person, this man, and about the house, and like I said, just plain old lies. I was in, you know, another state. He's showing me in another state over video, and of course didn't show me everything, didn't tell me everything, didn't even give me all the paperwork I should have. And so, like I said, you know, it's a process. And I'm making moves for that process, but I'm also making moves in my spiritual life. You know, my mind is just made up. I'm done with like going through with people, arguing with people. If you want to argue, fight, even if you want to leave, that's on you. You know, and that's whether people want to leave physically, whether people want to leave off the sites, whatever. That, you know, whether people, you know, want to leave mentally. Some people just leave mentally. They don't, you know, they're not, you know, there. So for me, my mind is made up that my goal and all my energy and all my, you know, everything I have is going towards the Most High. And that doesn't mean like I'm not going to be, you know, helping the best I can, you know, of course, because I've always done that, because of the Most High. He blessed me with that kind of heart that I've always done that. But yet things are changing within me, you know. I hear people saying they're tired. You know, it's not just black women that are tired, it's black men too. I'm just gonna say that. And we're all tired. You know, we all have done the struggle, so we shouldn't leave our men out. And I'm just saying that to our black women. Don't leave our men out. Do you know how much struggle they went through? You know the things they've endured. everybody that's behind bars didn't do some deserve to be there. And I can't say too much because of course this is YouTube, but it's the truth. At least I'm saying the truth. So for YouTube, I will say this as a disclaimer: this is my own personal experiences. This is for pretty much like to help and for spiritual guidance if possible. And then this is also real. It's not something that I'm making up. This is my story. It's not something that I'm not being vulgar, I'm not being rude or anything like that. Not on purpose. I'm not even trying to offend anyone on purpose. And I have to say that because I'm just now able to get on here because and I'm just talking about before I wasn't able, I was sick. I was sick even yesterday, but of course, we had a week where we couldn't get on here. I'll just put it that way. And we weren't allowed by YouTube. So I have to put in these things. I have to be very careful about what I say. But yet I'm also going to there's other platforms that I'm going to put the videos on. My husband's videos, my daughter's, my son, mine even. This platform, I'm not saying this is going to happen for sure, but I've been thinking about just archiving it, just leaving it. And but I know that doesn't matter because they just did mess with a video from when my husband was alive, and it was over 6 years ago. But the thing is that we got to do what we got to do. Sorry I'm saying so much. There's things I want to say that I can't. So I'm just watching different things, and it's not even rude things. It's just like I said, you got to watch what you say on this platform. But my intention is my husband already put some of his work, work for the Most High on other platforms, and I intend to follow that up with his work and my children's, even if it's not mine. So my main thing is just to say thank you to everyone, give my reasoning for why things are happening to the best of my ability, because the ultimate thing why things are happening for learning lessons, for strength. I believe things may be hard at one point. There's seasons for everything, and that's what my grandmother used to say. And some things may be hard at one point, they get easy at another. And when I can help, especially those who just go out their way and who you are. The only reason why I'm not saying your name, because I thought about it and I'm not too sure if people want me putting their names out there. But who you are, and I love you, and that I appreciate you. We had a time, I'm just gonna say it, that we had a time when we were over there, even in that house, when we had plenty of times where we didn't have or this and that, and we didn't ask anyone. We even recently, before we moved here where we are now, it was just me and my daughters. We did the best. We're doing the best we could. Like I said, my son's, he's not there anymore. He hasn't been there since maybe September of last year. And they've been gone. And yes, he does what he can when he can, but he's struggling too. He's sick right now. He can't even really do the work that he does. He knows coding, he knows a lot of things. So my kids know things, but number one, the market's hard. Number two, people that's trying to get a regular job, even in just regular retail stores, are having a hard time. Regular gas station, whatever it may be, that people think, oh, you can get it in these regular places, fast food chains. Well, they're having a hard time, and we know they're especially having a hard time now, and we know why. So where we are and where we were, especially because it was so rural where we were, It just was too hard, and we didn't have transportation, of course. We did at first, but then my son, he didn't have his vehicle anymore, and so we've been without a vehicle for a long time, for a while, I would say, some months, maybe in almost a year. And we take Ubers when we can, or whatever. There wasn't no bus stops right there or anything, and we have a hard time. At that point, we had a hard time getting Ubers because they don't want to come way out there, especially don't have to go nowhere at night. They're not coming out where that was. So I'm just telling you guys this so you can know that it's not something that we're volunteering for. It's not something that, we're just trying to trick you, deceive you, or, it's not that we even want to just, ask. And I don't ask everyone anymore. I know my daughter got on, but I use this as certain people that I know that have always been there, always helped, and I'm grateful. But I'm also grateful for the people my daughter asked that helped, because to be honest, I didn't know whether I was gonna make it through at that point in time, and I was so worried about my daughters. Like I said, my son's not here, and I was worried about them. I also, my brother, my sibling, I reunited with him. And, he helps off and on, but he has a big family, like a really big family, between him and his wife. And I don't try to stress him with a lot of things. But to be honest, when we were over there, we didn't have anything. We're just out. We don't have no lights. I'm just gonna, I'm just trying to get into all of it, but, and we were running out of phone battery, and then we did, and we couldn't call anyone. It was cold, but when we could call someone, we didn't say anything. We could have made a video on the phones or whatever. We didn't say anything. We went through. We found what we could, put it on the barbecue grill. Even biscuits. And, we survived, and we learned how to survive. We learned how to do things. Like the song says, I'm a survivor, and I'm not for that person, but the song, just the survivor part. There's more songs with the survivor, and I will survive, and all that just hit me because that's what we did. It was just me, my girls, and we made it, the oldest one was there for a minute, but not for long. He still has a lot of work to do. And I'm not putting his business out there either, but I'm just saying that we were alone for that point. My brother ended up showing up, honking, and that was, like the trumpet sounded for us. My girls flew out there because they knew who it was, and we didn't have any contact with anyone. And then, I got to talk to my son, Israel Restored, and he was saying, I was going to send somebody over there because he's not close to us. He's not in the state. He's not close to us at all. And he was going to send someone over there, to do a welfare check or check on us. But all at the same time, even with that, he knew, different things, but he didn't know everything. My brother knew different things, but he didn't know everything. Him and, his wife. But I'm grateful to them for what they've done. All of them. My son as well, helped us, get the place initially. It was, where you pay, partial payment, prorated, because it was towards, almost the end of the month, last month, but then we had this month come up, and like I said, we just hit a big bump you know, even with the lights. I was sending funds in for the lights, and what they did to me was add more on. That's what they did. They wouldn't turn them on, and then they add more on. I owed like $25 left, and they wouldn't turn them on, and then they added $500 on. That's what they did, and I don't know where the $500 came from, like, because the lights was out. But you know, I'll just say this: people do what they want to do, you know. And me, I'm going to keep believing in the Most High. You know, like, you know, the word says, as for me and my family, we're going to serve the Lord, because he's good. And he has people that are good that help us. So we just recently asked for help. I'm not even embarrassed to say it. I know, oh, who asked for help? Oh, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't care. You know, I was sick. I could have passed away, and I don't know what my daughters would have done. Yes, they, you know, could go do this or that, but it's not easy to jump to work or jump to, you know, this, even online, jump to jobs. They do art, different things, but they have a hard time, you know, selling it and different things like that. And it's because they sell clean art, and people want demonic art and nudity. No. And, you know, they're not for it. I'm not for it. They also write books and different things, but I'm just saying, those type of things you have a hard time doing. So even looking into home jobs or going out to the work, even my son did that before he ended up leaving. It was a hard time to get that, you know. And then, you know, when you're sick or whatever, because he got sick, you know, as you guys know, he had surgery. I told y'all when that happened, and, you know, he had broke his hand, but he also gets swollen foot and hand. He's been getting that for a long time, and it may be just carpal tunnel syndrome, I believe it's called, because he, you know, he knows coding and this and that and he types and stuff, but even with his coding jobs, even right now, it's hard for him to get the coding jobs, and then it's hard for him to get the people to pay him, you know. And I understand everybody's going through, but I'm just explaining to you guys that, hey, we you know, we're having it a little rough. It was a little easier when my husband was here. I'm just gonna be honest, he came up with good ideas. He was very keen. Like this situation I got in, he would have been very keen. He would have seen that man coming. Me, I don't see that. That's why I say, you know, our men are very good at spotting things. And with our young men, like say my son and or whatever, and young women, they have to learn that and get the spirit into them. And, you know, and some, yeah, maybe they get it early, some maybe they don't. But I don't fault them, because, you know, we've always done it, my husband and I. And we always, you know, make sure they were okay, make sure they had, you know, grown or not. I know some people, oh, they're growing this and that. Okay, they're still our children, you know. And if they're doing good, they're speaking good, you know, in other words, speaking the Most High's word, why don't you help your children? You know, you help the bad ones. Help those who are trying, who are looking to the Most High, who are understanding that, be respectful to your parents, who are understanding that, okay, it's more important to serve the Most High than to be out here shaking your butt in the street, showing everything you got. I don't just talk it, you know, we walk the walk, you know. We don't dress any kind of way. That's just not going to happen. Fully dressed, you know. And I'm not knocking. If you want to do that, then you want to do it. But I am going to say, I'm not knocking you, but I will admonish and say that you should care more for yourself. And so that's all I'm going to say about that, because this is not what I came on here to talk about. So the only thing, sorry, I just got quiet for a minute, but the only thing that I do want to say, you know, just wholeheartedly is thank you. And that I'm grateful for you all those who just, you just go out your way. I mean, there's certain people, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. But there's certain people. Sorry, guys, I'm getting emotional. But there's certain people that you know you are. That, you gave, and then, we put it to a bill, or we put to food, whatever, and then, had to ask again because this was about to happen or that about to happen, or, we had to, we didn't have the full amount for maybe the rent, lights, whatever, gas, or I need to take Uber, or, to take care of, whatever, and you, no hesitation, you just helped us. I thank you, because I'm like, you don't have to. You did not have to, but you did. And you did not have to respond to my daughter's video, both my daughter's video. You didn't have to respond to them, but you did. And I thank you. I'm so grateful. My kids were so worried about me. And I'm grateful to them. The way they just stayed by my side and just kind of talk me through it and, handle it, because I was like just feeling so sick that I was barely walking, and they were helping me, I couldn't even think straight. And part of it was that I stayed up 3 days with very little sleep, just trying to figure out, since we've been here, like, it was the first part of, when the rent, first about a month when the rent was due, and I was trying to figure out, okay, how can I do this? How can I do that? Because right now we don't have a lot of income coming in. And I was looking to ways, of getting help and how we could do this, or how, as far as the rent and pay, and also get the lights turned in our name, because they weren't in our name. They were in, the person's name that owns this place. But the Most High is good. The Most High is good. We good. My kid's sleeping on air mattresses right now. I got a little bed, and got a little mattress. I had slept in a chair the first night, and that we got here. First I wasn't sleeping, then I just couldn't help it, but I started falling asleep, and then, in a chair, and everything was hurting. I got I got diabetes, high blood pressure. I got a bad knee. And different things. I got a neuropathy in my feet that go, tremendous pain. And anybody that has that know what I'm talking about. And I know that a lot of people are going through, and there's people that they're going through more, and I was always taught that there's always somebody that's going through more than you. Thank the Most High for what you have, for how you have. And I do. I thank the Most High that I have like you. I thank the Most High that I have my children, my brother, my sibling. I hadn't talked to him in a long time. And it wouldn't be what people think, just I abandoned him. Oh, he just wasn't, in religion, so, or, serving the Most High. It was because, he was into certain things that I felt like he was going to pass away. I used to wake up crying, calling his name. I wasn't in the same city at the time with him, but I used to wake up crying, calling his name, because I'm having dreams that somebody is, I'm gonna have to bleep that out, y'all. But I have a dream that somebody has like a something to his head, and they pull it. They pull the trigger, and yeah, and those are dreams that I had. I had those dreams, and dreams like that, and dreams that people were harming him and hurting him. And so I talked to him, and I wanted him, to change, to look to the Most High. He did. For a minute, he started going. Then, I look online. Then he's back around the same people, and he was at that time. He's not now. But me having to step back and say, hey, I can't do it. I can't talk to you right now. And I didn't give him the reason why. But I was just like, I can't talk to you right now. not the true reason. I was explaining things to him, but he didn't know that I was having dreams like that. And that my fear was that if he stayed, doing things in his life that he was in, that I wasn't going to see him no more. And I don't want to see him like that. So I just wanted to, say that, sometimes you have to let go. And if they're meant to be in your life, they will. So with some people, I have to let go. And if I never see them, they never come back, then that's what the Most High meant. And I plan to move forward with my life. Because the Most High has gave me something, which is joy, love in my heart. More than I've ever had before. Understanding more than I've ever had before. And He's given me peace more than I've ever had before. He's also helped me to know what is for me is for me. It's going to be there. And what is not, is not. He's gave me a blessed life. Good husband. Mom, grandma, kids. Good people in my life. You guys. People that I even grew up with. My sister. That passed away when she was a baby, her father. I just came to the realization that he was more of a father to me than anyone. So, because I always say, I never meet my dad. I don't know my dad, but he was more than a father to me than anyone. I'm just talking about than anyone my mom was with. And my husband was more of a father to me, I should say, than anyone at all. As well as a husband, as well as a mentor, as well as a teacher. As well as a helper, as well as a best friend. It's my best friend. And I still love that man. And that won't end, My plan is to be with him in heaven, first of all, the Most High, but with him in heaven as my husband is what I'm saying. And my children. They I love them. They're the best. They're here to take care of me. So, that's pretty much what I want to say. I didn't want to go this long, and I know people probably already turned off because I'm pretty boring right now. But I'm being real, And I'm also just want to say that as much as you love your family, maybe your children, anybody in your family, sometimes you have to let go. And you have to let them find their way. I also had, just to say this, I told y'all before, I was talking to my middle son. For those of you who don't know, I have 7 kids. I was talking to my middle son. I have 7 kids that came out of me. But I have 5 that's been here consistently. And even my middle son, he was there till he was in his 20s, almost 30 something. But I understand him a bit more than I probably would, my children or people that don't have things that are going on mentally. But he's doing better. He's speaking better. He's praying, and I told him he can make it. And I told him he can make it out of that mental state. Just keep striving, keep going. And that's for all of you. Keep striving, keep going. Just because, they may say you have some kind of mental this or mental that, doesn't mean, and maybe you do, or maybe, you're going through something. Maybe, you're being attacked, whatever, and that's by the unseen. But the thing is, you can come out of it. Just believe in the Most High. You can come out of all the mess you're in. I believe that we can come out of it. It's not that I don't believe, but I thank everyone for their help. Because your help is coming from the Most High. He's blessing you and touching your heart to help us. And I thank you because that's rare nowadays in this world. Wasn't rare when I was growing up. It's rare now. And I thank y'all. I really truly want to say I thank y'all. I thank y'all for all your prayers. I thank y'all for helping us, whether it's financially, whether it's just finding things, like sending us things to, help out, with just different resources and different things. Thank you. I thank my family for all their help. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Very grateful. My plan is, like I said before, is if I do start doing videos again, just consistently, is not to really do them on this channel, which is my husband's channel. It's more to do it on the channel I dedicated to him, which is For the Love of Rap. And I'll leave the link. I hope everyone will tune in, because I also will be putting some of his videos that they have taken down on there, but I will be redoing them. Not his words, not anything like that, but you have to put a blur on certain things. Sometimes you have to leave out the words, different things like that. So I pray y'all tune in. Love you guys. Didn't mean to go this long. I apologize. Please take care of yourselves. Please, please always look out for each other and yourselves, and stick together. Come together more in love instead of war. We are the ones who have been fought and disliked and hated for a long time. So, to be honest, all we got is us. Come together, my people. Peace. Rap's wife.
Taking a chance on me. I know I'm not the easiest to love. Oh, thank you for holding it down for me. I know sometimes you feel like giving up, but you stayed right here, and now I gotta let you know. I think I found a good one. Stay here for the rest of my life. I never find a better one, better one, better one. I think I found a good one. Stay here for the rest of my life. I never find a better one, better one, better one. I'll never find a better one, better one, better one. Too many fakes in this world for me. They really make it hard for you to trust. Giving the best of me, 'cause you told me how to open up. And I'ma stay right here, and now I gotta let you know. I think I found a good one. Stay here for the rest of my life. I never find a better one, better one, better one. I think I found a good one. Stay here for the rest of my life. I never find a better one, better one, better one. I'll never find a better one.